timing. It's the secret sauce of nearly every story of success. We can improve our timing with some practice and some patience. It's about time. That's our topic on this episode of the Educators Among Us podcast.
Welcome to the Educators Among Us podcast, where we share motivational messages and inspiring stories for and about educators. Your host, Scott Barron, is author of the critically acclaimed book, Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and provides powerful insights and wisdom for those who heed the call to teach, coach, lead, and serve at all levels of education.
This is Scott Barron, and I'm honored to be your host for the Educators Among Us podcast, where we get to love on educators. We get to encourage them and be a part of their journey, even just for a little while, because every educator they're on a journey. They're on a journey to grow in wisdom and to figure out what's coming next and to anticipate. And because we're so much more than just dispensers of knowledge, we get to inspire new dreams and wisdom and relationships and so much more. And we're so grateful for you and your commitment to that work. It is a calling. We truly believe that. It is a calling that is not for the faint of heart. This is work. This is a hard work. But every now and then there's a time. And that's our topic for today. What time is it? It's that time in the United States for most educators now, those that are in the K-12 space, or even in higher ed. This sometimes is the season between the seasons. It's that time to hopefully get some rest, to renew, to review, and even to restart. It's starting, being transformers and restarting things this is that season. And depending on where you are around the world, that season varies. But hopefully you're able to take those interludes in the schedule, in the calendar, and you're able to do just that, to take that time. Timing is a vital part of growing in wisdom and growing in relationship with others. And that's what we want to make sure that we're thinking about as we have the time to rest and maybe find some new ways, some new relationships, and maybe even some new skills. Sometimes being a friend means mastering the art of timing. That's from Octavia Butler. There is a time for silence, a time to let go, and to allow people to hurl themselves into their own destiny, and a time to prepare to pick up the pieces when it's all over. Being a friend does require us to have an awareness of the timing. Well, that's true for us all as educators, because we find that we're most effective when we have that keen awareness around that timing. You see, timing is the key to many things in life. It's the ability to read the room, to see what's going on, to understand the mood and the flow, to see the various perspectives, and then to say or do what is the best. Right? Timing. It's the wise sensitivity and discipline of doing the right thing at the right time. The key to great cooking is timing. Otherwise, it gets burned or it doesn't mix right. The timing is really important. The key to great comedy is timing. If you listen to comedians and the way that they time their stories or their punchlines, right? Timing is important. The key to great music is timing. The key to great teaching is timing. The key to great relationships is timing. The key to great leadership is timing, right? The time is always right to do what is right, said Martin Luther King Jr. Timing. Sometimes the ideal moment is one that could not have been anticipated. Surprise! Sometimes we don't know. We can't anticipate everything, right? So we recognize, though, that being in the right place at the right time, that's key. That's really important. But it's also being prepared. It's knowing that we're ready for it, right? And that just takes preparation and practice, because preparation and practice always improve our timing. It's funny how that works. And along with some coaching feedback, getting the perspective of someone to watch, because we know that we don't have all the information. We don't have all the facts, right? We need that outside perspective to help us overcome that confirmation bias and get some coaching. And hopefully you're able to leverage that in this season that you're in, that you're able to seek some feedback, maybe even some accountability to help you see things through a broader perspective. Too often, we think we have the time. We think it's, we'll get to that later, and we continue just to kind of meander or wander through life with life happening to us, right? And then we show up in the moment, kind of like a middle school student at the dance, right? Who doesn't quite have the rhythm and the timing to dance to the beat. So we either hang out over on the wall or we step on a lot of toes. And that's not in keeping with our calling to be an influential educator, one who people look to for inspiration, for modeling, right? As well as for instruction. For everything, there is a season, a time for every matter under heaven, says Ecclesiastes 3:1. There is a time. And growing up, maturing as a leader, as an educator, as a person, is knowing how to master timing. The people and conditions around us are constantly changing, which requires us to assess, to adjust, to find the right rhythm and timing. It doesn't stay the same. We also have to learn to trust, right? Because we expect our schedule to work as planned, but wisdom recognizes divine timing. It's not in our control. Our faith and our influence is strengthened when we remember how little we actually control, knowing that a greater plan will prevail and we can reasonably trust it. School life is quite unpredictable, but we are the stabilizing force at the right time. What time is it? Well, mastering that art, that's the key. So master the art of timing this week, my friend, committing to the right priorities while also adapting to the needs of the moment, the needs of our students, the needs of our colleagues, the needs of our parents. That's what we're called to do, is meeting their needs and meeting them where they are. It's a powerful responsibility, and it takes a lot of work. It's exhausting sometimes, and that's why we need those interludes, sometimes just to heal, to recover, to find that inner strength, and to find new strength, and maybe to lift some weights, to take on some new skills. Sometimes we need to shed some other relationships and even mindsets and find a way to adapt even more effectively. And that's our challenge on a regular basis, but especially in those interludes. Right? A coaching question to consider as you go through this week and as you go through this period that you're in now is, did I do my best to master the timing today? Did I do my best to master the timing today? Love him and lead him, my friend. This is Scott.
Thank you for joining us for the Educators Among Us podcast and for your courageous commitment to this noble calling. We get you and the challenges of this work. To stay connected with this community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and weekly encouragement at educatorsamongus.com.